Hey everyone, this is Logan Sennhauser here, Sennhauser Racing Team. This video, just want to give an overview of the sim racing cockpit. It's the off season right now, so I've been doing a lot of sim racing, and I wanted to get a video out. So just going to do a quick overview, talk to you about sim racing. If you don't know who I am, this is your first time stumbling upon one of our videos. We run ChampCar, we run an endurance Miata. We run, anywhere from, right now we're sticking to 8-hour races, but, in the future we're looking to do 14, 12, 24-hour races, stuff like that. So this is my sim rig. I'm just going to go through it step by step here, share with you what I'm all about. Coming at you from a little bit of a new location here. This is my apartment in Columbus, so not the garage, but yeah, definitely check out the channel, whatever. But for today, I'm just going to give you a quick overview, so let's jump into it. So the first thing we're working with here is the GT Omega Pro Cockpit, I believe is what it's called. I got this 5 years ago now. I don't even know if they still make this. I know there's another brand, I think, that bought the factory because it looks exactly the same, that's still making this similar cockpit. But back when I bought this, extruded aluminum frames were really expensive and not really worth it. At least in my situation, I was college, whatever, a little bit strapped for cash. So this is what I went with, and it served me well. And I still am really happy with it. It comes with the seat. It's got sliders, a pretty big pedal plate. It's not adjustable, but you can kind of, finagle the pedals to where you want them. And a little bit of adjustment up here with the steering wheel mount too. Up until this SimuCube wheelbase, like I said, I've been really happy with it. Even with the SimuCube wheelbase, it holds up pretty well. The only problem is that there's a little bit of flex when you really stomp on the brakes. You can see the seat and the brakes are connected by this one connection here. So when you stomp on the brakes, it kind of bends up here. Which you don't really notice all too much, but it's one of those things that probably makes my braking a little bit more inconsistent. And that's one of the reasons that I'm looking to maybe upgrade from this setup in the near future here. Or I've even toyed around with trying to put a brace from here to here, just custom make something just to give it a little more rigidity. But like I said, it's not the end of the world, but it's just one of those things I noticed. So yeah, that's the GT Omega Pro. Nothing crazy about it. Comes with some adapters. There's a shifter plate there. It came with speaker stands that I've quite literally never used, but yeah, it works pretty well. So yeah, that's the cockpit. So next we're going to jump into the SimuCube Pro 2 or SimuCube 2 Pro wheelbase. This is one of my newest additions to the frame. Very expensive wheelbase. And my theory with this, you can see I upgraded from the Fanatec, this old belt-driven CSL Elite, I think is what that was called. So pretty big jump from that to this. This is like what the old CSL DD wheels used to be. So $300 wheelbase, $400 wheelbase. And this is what, based on my reviews, is pretty much the top of the line. It doesn't really get any better than this, at least on a consumer level. There is one step up from this in the SimuCube line, but it's really just higher torque, and I already turned the torque down on this, so I didn't feel the need to spend the extra cash. I'm really happy with it. The feedback's awesome. It feels like I'm driving a car. I don't feel like there's any compromises here, which is the whole reason that I spent the money on it. I will say, I think there's a sweet spot between the SimuCube and the wheelbase that I was using. Like I said, I'm really happy with it, but I think I could have spent less money and still been pretty happy. There's a lot more direct drive wheelbases on the market now. However, I don't know that I'm ever going to feel the need to upgrade from this wheelbase. I don't know what technology is going to come out or what that's going to best what this is. So that's why I didn't mind spending the money. So mounted on that, I have a Sim Racing Bay GT3 replica wheel. This is made to be exactly the same as the wheels that come in the VAG GT3 cars, or some people might say VAG. The Mighty Car Mods guys at least say that, but it's the Huracan GT3, that R8 GT3. This wheel is identical to the ones that are in those cars. So you've got a few encoders here that click, and then you've got that funky switch thing here that also rotates. But anyways, all wirelessly connected using the SimuCube wireless, connectivity function. And I really like it. So nothing crazy there. This was just kind of the cheapest wheel I could find that had the wireless functionality. And I really like racing GT3 wheels. So, yeah, that's the wheelbase. Okay, so moving from the steering wheel, base and wheel, to the pedals here, I have the Fanatec Club Sport V3 pedals. I've had these for years and years and years. I cannot, oh, there's a pen in there. Good find. I cannot believe they still sell these as the top of the range. They never made podium pedals or whatever. I think they're great. They do what I need them to do. I've never driven on a nicer set of pedals than these. I know there's tons out there, but the reason I got these back in the day was because there weren't a lot of load cell options out there. And these were just, a really good option. I was in the Fanatec ecosystem too. Or no, I was on Thrustmaster. I didn't get the Fanatec wheel until later, but either way, I'm very happy with them. I've got the brake all the way stiffened. You can adjust the stiffness of the brake here. And then a lot of people actually put stiffer elastomers in there too, which I have not done. It's got the, vibration motors here. These are gimmicky. They don't provide enough feedback to really, that you can even feel them. You can feel them a little bit, but I know SimMagic has like a much better version of that now that actually uses like transducers. But either way, it's kind of fun, kind of unique. I put these little extenders on them that on the pedals that come with come in the box, just because I like this setup a little bit more. And I can't adjust the pedal plate, so I kind of did that adjustment here at the top of the pedals. And then you'll see I have one plastic and then two metal faces. I wish I had 3 of these faces, but the pedals come with 2 different sets of plates. 3 of these plastic ones or 2 metal ones, and then a long one for the accelerator, which I didn't like. So this is kind of the setup I had if I had another one of these faces, I would put it here. I just don't. So I've never felt the need to buy one. You can see I'm kind of wearing through the anodization on it as well, just because I've had them for so long. But yeah, nothing really more to say about them. They've served me well. I don't feel the need to upgrade. At some point, if the active pedals, like if more brands start releasing those and the price comes down, I think that'll definitely be the next step for me. But for right now, these have served me great for years and years and years, and I plan to continue using them. So that's the pedals. So the next step here, I guess, would be the monitor setup, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. So I'll just briefly go over, these are the sensors for an Oculus Rift. I have an Oculus CV1. You can see it's just kind of tucked down here. This is like an OG Oculus. It was old even when I bought it, used years and years ago. I don't really use it that much. It's kind of buggy. I don't know if it's my computer or what's going on, but sometimes it'll just drop frames for like a solid few seconds and it causes me to wreck out and whatever. So I'll use it to show to friends, but that's about it nowadays. I haven't really felt the need to dig into it more. I honestly like using a display like this. It's more comfortable. You don't see as much. It's not as immersive, but it's not buggy. It works every time. So I might revisit the VR someday, but for right now, I haven't really been feeling it. So then I've got this main display. This was a hand-me-down from a friend of a friend of a friend. It made its way to me. Nothing special about it, honestly. It's something I'd like to upgrade someday. But it's, 60 hertz, and at 1080p, but it is 16:9, so it's a little bit wider than normal, which I really like. I like having, that wider angle. Someday when I have the space, I'd like to do triples, but, today is not that day. So that's that display. And the cool thing, I 3D printed this mount and it's bolted to my SimuCube base. I designed this all myself, and then it bolts to the stock, monitor mount flange thing here. And it works really well. You'll see if you watch the live streams, it kind of shakes around a little bit, but not enough that it bothers me. And it kind of shakes the camera, which I think kind of gives the live streams a little more immersion. So that's the display. Then you've got this little display here. This was like $50 on Amazon. It's a generic 7-inch monitor. I'm running SimHub, which provides a dashboard for me when I'm racing. I'll go ahead and throw in an image of that now, just so you can see the data it displays. This kind of shows you what my display does when I'm in the car. So you can see I have it, the NSX, the dashboard sits a little low, but you can see I have it set up so it pretty much lines up where the dash is in the vehicle. And then again, here's my streaming stuff here. But I've got the left side set up to show my lap times. So it'll show my last lap and my best lap. Up here, it shows if your headlights are on. I don't think that works with iRacing. How many incident points you have, your strength of field, and how much I rating you're estimated to gain. I think that's if your engine's broken or something. Here it shows gears and RPM, stuff like that. LED, RPM lights up top, LED, they're just on the display. I have a time. This is, what time it is right now, IRL. This will, show how many laps or times left, your position, lap number, what time it is in the sim. This will show my split to the car in front and behind, and then TC, ABS settings, all that jazz. And fuel usage down here, which has been really helpful as well. So I can see how much I can change it to time and sufficient data, but it'll show me time left in my stint, and then refuel information as well. And then I can change the right and left box as well. So this is my, I've got relatives on there, overall standings, and then back to the split. And then left side, I can do tire usage, which I haven't really used, but I have it set up. And then my I rating estimation, how much I'm going to gain or how much I'm going to lose, and different information like that. So, yeah, it's like I said, for the $50 I invested in it, super happy with it. It's treated me incredibly well. So on to the next one. And again, that's on a 3D printed mount here, just in front of my display. And then this is the newest edition, is this longer, I think this is also 16:9, but it's only 720p, which doesn't really matter. It's technically a touchscreen too, which I don't use. But I use it to display all of my OBS, recent subscribers, chat, monitor the stream. I'll throw my iRacing schedule and stuff up there, so I don't have to, cover up the racing while I'm looking for races and stuff like that. One of the best little investments I've made, and this one was, again, it was like a $70 display, generic off Amazon. So, and again, just using 3D printed mounts I designed that attached to the VESA mount for the monitor there. So it's pretty sturdy. I mean, the monitor shakes, but the connection between these two don't. And when I'm sitting down in the seat, that's what I'm seeing. So it's a nice, clean, more compact setup, which works perfect for me. And then while we're talking about it, I've got this Logitech, I don't even remember. These are really common, but just a 1080p camera, just to show me mounted on the side vertically. Just, I don't know, it shows a little bit more of my body, kind of shows what I'm doing when I'm driving a little bit more. It's not perfect, but again, we're going for compact with this setup. I don't want it jutting out into the middle of my room. So those are the displays and the camera and everything kind of on top of the setup here. As far as audio goes, I've got these SteelSeries Arctis 5s, I think is what they're called. They're wireless. They've got a little retractable microphone on them. It sounds okay. For the price point, I think they're really nice. They're a major step up from the headphones that I used to have. But they work well. Wireless, tons of battery life. Haven't had any issues with them yet. And then one other thing, I got to get down low here for you on this one. So under here, I have a Dayton Audio transducer that actually vibrates the seat, which is, it was like $80 for the setup. You have to get the transducer, and then you also have to get a USB amplifier interface to wire it up. And then you use either SimHub or iRacing actually has the feature built in now, which is the way I have it set up just for simplicity. But it vibrates the seat and it adds a ton of immersion. The only downside is because I live in an apartment, I have to keep it turned way down just to, I try and be respectful of my neighbors. When I first got it, I had it turned up a little too much and they'd be banging on the ceiling. So, really cool immersion factor. But again, you got to kind of think about your situation. Once I either don't have neighbors or my situation changes, I would like to turn this up and then get a second one. You can see I have two outputs for that, for the amplifier here. I want to get a second one and put it under the pedal plate. Because again, the amount of immersion it adds is just, it's incredible. And it doesn't, you can't really relate or relay it on video, but it's really neat. So that's that. This is another little fun thing since it's sitting here. A little keyboard, wireless keyboard and trackpad. So I don't again, my monitor and PC is all set up over here. So I don't like having to get up to type things and use the mouse and stuff like that. And this little guy lights up, connects everything, and it allows me to control all my displays and, you know, whatever else I want to control over here. So that's kind of nice. And then just to jump into the last thing here, this is a generic USB shifter. It's kind of gated manual-esque. It's not the nicest thing, but I mean, my boss bought it and it didn't work with his setup. So he gave it to me for like, I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. And it works really well. I'm really happy with it. I had to do some modification to get it to work perfectly. I think it was just a mismanufactured batch, but because I bought it from my boss, I didn't want to go to him and be like, please return it. So I was able to actually resolder some things and fix it. But it works really well for when I'm, you know, rarely driving H pattern vehicles. I actually really like it. I don't feel the need to upgrade that. So yeah, it does the job. It's just mounted on a little beam here, and it works pretty well. Again, compact. So yeah. So just wanted to show the cable management here as well. It's not the cleanest, obviously. I'm not the most neat freak, but I wanted to clean it up and just keep it from, you know, getting tangled in things and stuff like that. So it's just zip tied together, running from here over to my PC. I use the same PC for sim racing as I do for, you know, general productivity and stuff like that. It's nothing to write home about. All the specs are in the descriptions of my live videos. 3060 Ti, old, I think i7 8700 CPU. That's kind of on my list of upgrades as well. But like I said, nothing really to write home in there. Samsung Odyssey G9 display over here, which I'm hoping someday to get mounted to the rig once I have enough space. But again, it'll kind of push the rig out too far from the wall there. So that's why I'm kind of not doing that right now. But yeah, just wanted to give a quick overview of that. But with that being said, I mean, that's kind of that's the rig here. So I'm going to do some more streaming tonight, just to round off 2025. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. You know, like I said, we run a real car in real life. That's what most of this channel is based around. It's just off season right now. So I wanted to get this video out there, but you know, feel free to leave a comment, any questions you have, any suggestions you have, you know, whatever. I always love interacting with people, getting to know new people. So, and helping people out however I can. So, feel free to leave a comment below, like it if you liked it. If you didn't, you know, feel free to dislike it. I'm always open to criticism, but if you do, you know, let me know why. I would love to, I always look to improve. So, feel free to leave a comment, no matter how constructive it is. And then, you know, subscribe if you want to see more content. Like I said, I go live. I do that YouTube and Twitch. And we actually live stream our races on YouTube too. So keep an eye out for those as well. But yeah, hope to see you in the future. And until then, cheers. We'll see ya.